On Tuesday, Police Chief Carmen Best resigned. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I think just taking the balance of nature, I really feel like I just plain old-fashioned feel better. And it's really a noticeable thing. So that to me is significant. It really is.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code USA.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The Big Ten and Pac-12 announced they are postponing their college football season due to the coronavirus pandemic. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey telling Good Morning America what's going on in his conference's deliberations.
Our timeline is really based on the advice of a biostatistician way back in April said to me, listen, this is a new virus. We have not been through this before. So the longer you take to make decisions, the better information you'll have.
Having recovered from COVID-19, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is donating plasma to be given to other COVID-19 patients.
One of the main treatments right now is to give plasma, which is the antibodies, to people that are being treated in the hospital for COVID. And so for every person that has the antibodies that's already recovered from it, we can help 4 Oklahomans.
The governor speaking there in a Twitter video, also urging other people who've recovered from COVID-19 to follow his steps and donate their plasma. You're listening to USA Radio News.
While you have free time and you're sitting at home and you ponder what kind of gifts to buy for someone, PatriotDepot.com has you covered from puzzles, games, novelty items. If you're looking for some unique style items when it comes to the president, for more you can check out PatriotDepot.com. Call 844-377-8052. That's 844-377-8052 or PatriotDepot.com. Use promo code USA.
Many gyms across the country are remaining closed due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Some gyms have ignored their state's rules and regulations, and the owners have been arrested. Many gyms feel they will never be able to open due to some of the stringent guidelines set forth by states in order for them to reopen. Fitness icon, entrepreneur, and Body by Jake founder Jake Steinfeld joins Fox News and says gyms should be open.
Don't quit. Keep up the fight, right? Keep the places clean, and it's a matter of people coming in. And I know the percentages are very low when people are in those fitness centers. They're very low. So just be smart, and people are being smart. And the bottom line is, like, we have to be diligent. And when you're diligent, great things happen. Same thing with exercise, same thing with nutrition, because that's that downward spiral. We talk about the upward spiral. You want to make sure people are exercising, and we've always said, right, at Official Body by Jake, we always talk about the broomstick, towel, and chairs, exercises you can do in your home, in a park, anywhere, as long as you're keeping your body moving, and nutrition.
Steinfeld speaking there on Fox News. The coronavirus pandemic has accelerated a trend of studios pushing more movies to be made available for a premium price rental via a ticketed on-demand deal. Disney announcing on Tuesday that a remake of Mulan will be heading to Disney Plus September 4th for $29.99. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Welcome to What's the Story? My name is Janice Hermson, and I'm your host. I'm here today with my co-host, Ed Knoll, who's got his fancy schmancy computer there. Oh, wait, isn't that just a phone?
It's like it's a 1995 phone.
No, I think it's a little further than that. But he's got to put in the code. So, but he'll join us on Facebook as well pretty quick. And Doug Ashby's here.
Hi.
Hey.
I can do that better. All right.
You did just fine.
Yeah,
just
thank you.
fine. Yeah. So we're going to have a great show today. You guys ready for this show?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excited.
Excited. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
No. No, it's the adjustment to these late evenings.
Oh, yes. This is our new time. We're on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock
That's right.
Pacific time. If you are in the East, you know what time it is there, so we won't tell you.
Wow.
It's 3 hours later. Right?
Wow.
Yes, but then we'd have to do every time zone, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's just...
Seeing as how we're challenged
kind of
with time
tedious.
as it is, yeah.
It's a little tedious
Yeah.
for those listening, I'm sure. So, but we do have an awesome show today. We're going to do a little bit about celebrating the Veep and the spirit of 45. And they, I guess, Mr. Biden announced his Veep pick.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I saw that
Yeah, you know what the
today.
Veep is now?
I
Right?
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Interesting, I think.
Yes, and then, of course, it's also National Hobo Week. I'll bet you guys didn't know that.
What week?
Hobo Week. Hobo, right?
Oh.
There really are hobos. No, that's different. That's different.
They
We're
got
going to
their
talk
own
about
category?
that. That's right. Yes.
No way.
Absolutely. And it was Book Lovers Day on Sunday. And so since we're book lovers, I just couldn't resist but to celebrate it today instead of on Sunday because, we're here today.
Well,
Right?
all good holidays are, 3 days.
Yeah, and that's right. and we mentioned that we are on a new day and a new time, and that's all about change. So we're going to do a little bit of talk about change.
Change. Is anything the same?
Isn't there a song, Change?
Yeah.
I was going to David Bowie.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, so...
Time to think.
That's right. See, I didn't know the words. I was just da-da-da-da-da.
Well, sorry about that, folks.
I know the tune.
You may not think I do.
Maybe neither one of us, right? We're not going to be making our next record, that's for sure.
Yeah, count me out on
we
that.
can talk, but maybe we can't sing as well.
You
right?
you can make a record, but it's not what you're thinking.
That's right. That's right. And then in our second hour, we're going to do some current events. North Korea's in the news. Probably not what you're going to expect from our news about North Korea. And boomers are being overtaken. And Egypt told Elon Musk that there are no aliens. So we'll talk about that a little bit.
That definitely means there are some.
Maybe so. He might be one, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
Yep.
Did he do his DNA? Maybe, never know. Wouldn't that be interesting if you did a DNA thing? And, yeah.
So, yeah, you could have watched the Star Trek, Battlestar
Battlestar Galactica, yep.
Right, Buck Rogers.
And then also talking about change, not only are we going to talk about change as in the terms of, how things are changing, but how about the Mint is actually begging for change? Did you guys know that? Have you ever seen the signs at the stores now where they're saying, please use the exact change or give us a credit card? So... And then last but not least, first we will talk also about how has change changed you. And then during our story time, I have a drug bandit that I knew. So that's
bandit?
A bandit.
It's interesting. I put that in as a search in the search engine about that. There's a bunch of stuff, but I thought, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
You were looking for it.
I was.
Oh,
yes.
It'll be hard to find, and I'll tell you why when I do the story.
Okay, good.
But it'll be very difficult to find. But it is truly someone that I knew, and it was a drug bandit that I knew.
Really?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Huh.
I've known not a drug bandit, but I've known another bandit as well. But
So I'm trying to wrap my arms around drug bandit.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That's a term. Yeah.
Yeah, what's a drug bandit? And again, I'll explain all of that. I just don't want to give it all away because then it's no fun. You got to wait till the end of the show. So if you can't listen to the whole, that's right. If you can't listen to the whole show, I will tell you that one's going to be in the last segment of our show, which is at 5:45 Pacific. And so that's when we're going to talk about that. How about that? Yeah. So did you guys have a good weekend?
Really nice.
Oh, yes, we were in California.
Oh.
And just had an awesome time.
Did you quarantine?
Did you wear a mask? Did you quarantine? Come on.
Oh no, it was it was a lot of fun. Kind of as a backdrop to that, I went to a friend of mine's funeral, and this lady comes up to me at the funeral, and she says, "Do you remember me?" Oh, God, that's terrible.
And you didn't?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a clue. And so anyway, I started talking to her. It was a girl that I knew when I was at Pasadena City College, and she says, "We are in Paso Robles this coming weekend." She says, "Why don't we meet and we'll do some wine tasting?" And worked out perfect. We just had a great time.
Did you finally remember who she was?
No. No, I did remember her, but she kept referring to her girlfriend, and she says, "Oh yeah, we remember you in one of the classes, our speech class." And I said, "Really?" Yeah, and I didn't have a clue, and that's a terrible position to be in. And then she asked me, "Oh, this was terrible." She says, "Why didn't you ever ask me out?"
Oh dear.
Thank you. So, I mean, you talk about a bazillion megabytes of information going through your mind. I said, well,
well, you're not supposed to have any megabytes moving after that.
Right.
Best I can tell.
And Debbie's sitting out here in the studio.
Oh, yeah, she met them all. Yeah. And I said, well, I really wanted to, but I didn't think you'd say yes.
Aww.
Was that?
You're so
that was
full
so
of it. That
diplomatic of you.
You know what? That is so BS.
It was the truth.
It was a good line.
That was not from the heart.
All right. Well, we are going to be right back. You're listening to What's the Story, and we've got some interesting stories coming up, and we're going to talk about celebrating the Veep in the spirit of 45, and it's not that 45. Bye-bye.
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to lrpnv.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to lrpnv.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Book Hound radio show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Man on the Map, does every week. Just go to lrpnv.com. That's lrpnv.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
Ready for a live game of Clue? For nearly 30 years, Funtime Theaters held private and monthly dinner murder mysteries. Each night is different, and each event includes dinner and a show. You're the detective, and your job is to figure out who did what to who and why. At the end of the night, a super sleuth and not so super sleuth are awarded prizes. This is a great event for a birthday or holiday party and team building events for your office. Visit funtimetheater.com to make your reservations and use promo code RADIO for $5 off each admission.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Getting to know you. Let me tell you about America Matters with Eddie Floyd. It comes on every Monday at noon. Don't want you to miss it. That's America Matters with Eddie Floyd.
Wake up, the sun below. Got another road to sow. Let the fire feel the hope swelling up from the depths of my soul.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. You're listening to What's the Story, and we have had April Kempler join us. Well, there's maybe Paul's joining us too. Who knows? But definitely we've got April.
We had an active break.
We did. There she is. And so welcome back, April. Hopefully we can.
Hello, Jan.
Yeah,
Thank
there you go. Yeah. We're going to talk about change on Reno Gal Says today, right?
That's right.
Yeah, good for you. All right. And right now I wanted to, on Sunday, what are you laughing at?
Just thinking.
Oh, on Sunday it was Veep Day, right? Everybody know what Veep Day is? Oh boy, I got a really lively group here today, don't I?
I made notes.
I know you do. Yeah, but I don't know how I lost it with these guys earlier too. Yeah. They were just, I don't know, this new day really is tough for you guys. Yeah, your energy level. I even brought you cupcakes.
No, it's helping. It's helping.
Yeah.
We'll get better as the day goes on.
Yeah. There's just another hour to make us tired in the day, huh?
I don't know. So National Veep Day is August 9th. And it recognizes the succession plan of the President of the United States. So I think most of us know what that succession plan is, right? You have the president, something happens to the president, and the VP is the president, right? So because of the fact that Joe Biden was getting ready to announce who his VP was, I thought that this was an appropriate time to talk about National Veep Day, because should he become president, that person will be the president.
One heartbeat away, right?
I think that's kind of interesting, the history on that. I don't know that it's necessarily the vice president, because I think it could be someone designated. Should that vice president not be able to do it?
Oh, yeah. No, if the vice president can't do it, that's definitely
then it would
the
go
Speaker
to our
of the
friend
House.
Nancy.
Yes, the Speaker of the House, if she's the Speaker.
Oh, if she's the Speaker.
If she's the Speaker, right.
What else?
And they're counting on that, of course.
What else happened on August 9th?
Many things.
Pardon?
Oh, yes, it's rice pudding day.
That's the most important thing, right?
In this household.
And how soon we forget. That's when the second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki.
Right.
August 9th.
Right.
That's a biggie.
It is.
Especially if you live there.
It's true. So in the history of the United States, 14 vice presidents have become president.
Wow.
Yep. The people elected only 5 of them at some point after completing their terms as vice president. The other 8 ascended the presidency due to the death of a president. And then there is one vice president who became president who was never elected at all. So does anybody know who that was?
I do.
You go ahead and share it.
It was Gerald Ford.
There you go. That's right. So, and then of course, because it was the day, national calendar people want you to celebrate the day. So we're celebrating the day, right? Even though we're a little late.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Well,
This is our celebration of National Veep Day.
There's another famous thing that happened on August 9th.
He's just full of it, isn't he?
Indeed he is.
Well,
couldn't resist.
Oh, no. But no. Debbie and I's wedding anniversary. I'm surprised. August 9th.
How come I didn't know that? Shame.
Wasn't that on Google Calendar? Right? I thought I
It was
saw
all over Facebook. I know it was. I saw it.
Well, you know what I was going to say, talking about August 9th, is I send everybody birthday greetings on LinkedIn and Facebook and do my social media. I think there was one birthday on August 9th,
Really?
right? Like in all the people I know, usually there's 15 or 20. It was just really weird by absence of birthdays.
Really?
There you go.
Well,
congratulations, Doug.
Oh,
on your
thank
way.
you.
Very much so, both of you.
I tell everybody I didn't have anything to do with it.
Well, how long?
I don't know. I've read your book. I think you had a little bit to do
So
with
hold
it.
on. I'm very intrigued. How long you guys been married?
All my life.
And you got asked out on a date like this weekend, right? That's where I'm going. Just going there.
Isn't that something? That's a way to celebrate your anniversary.
Best I know, Debbie should be proud, right? I mean, right? That doesn't happen to me.
That's because you're single. That's why. Come on. That's the reason. You have to be attached. Then people go after you. That's the way it works. I don't know.
So it's like vacation. Should I have a pretend companion?
Maybe so,
that'll
maybe
work.
so.
Invisible.
Right. It's also National Spirit of 45 Day. And so I was pretty sure a lot of people would say, 45, it's the president. No, it's got nothing to do with the president.
Was it the St. Louis thing?
No, it's the can-do attitude of an entire generation affected by the trials and hardships of World War II. So
Wowza.
How about that?
AKA the greatest generation.
That's it. I knew you'd love it, April, since you're such a World War II fan. It's observed every year on the second Sunday in August, and communities around the country, probably not this year, hold events and memorials. Each one honors those who have inspired us, sacrificed, and preserved our nation for future generations. And I really wish that we would have celebrated that, because I think during this pandemic, people have forgotten how strong a country we are and how strong we can be. And so I was a little bit disappointed that it couldn't be a little bit more visible, right?
It's funny you should mention that. It's probably the reason it went by the wayside is because what you just said, pride in the country, pride of what we've done, happy about our flag, is not in vogue right now.
Right. Well, and it's got to do, this particular is celebrating the greatest generation. And one of the things they suggest is visiting one of the greatest generation, record an interview. It's getting harder to do, right? Dive into history, uncover untold stories. Again, this is pre-pandemic, by touring the National World War II Museum in New Orleans. Learn about people like Betty Watson or the contributions of the USO. Help create a wall of honor with the Spirit of 45 organization. And the reason these national days come about is people want to promote their organizations or whatever. So totally understandable why that's in there. But I just think that we have lost our way, and I wanted to bring it up to remind us all that we're pretty strong people, and I think that we can manage to get through this as well without.
We can etch a sketch and start over.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of every holiday all over and just rewrite it.
And
right?
get rid
just
of all.
clean it up.
Get rid of all of our statues.
No, I'm not into that. I was just like the holiday scene could be cleaned up.
The holiday scene. What does that mean? The holiday scene.
So how many? Right. I mean, there's every day, some kind of day, and there's just too much that they don't mean anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, like yesterday was National Shapewear Day.
National Shapewear?
Yeah,
Is that like
Salwear, Southern Ohio women's wear. That's Salwear.
What does that even mean? And then there was a National Lazy Day.
Oh my!
So I guess I'm with Ed a little bit. Like, why every day is some?
Well, because everybody, especially with this National Day calendar, everybody puts their day on there to try to get their organization or their company to have some sort of
tomorrow
attention.
Is LeRue Press.
There you go. I like it.
Omega Mortgage Day, right? We combine
LeRue Press / Omega. Maybe that's what we need to do.
We were trying to save space, so we share today, right? It's tomorrow.
What's the story?
Yeah, that's right. What's the story?
What's a quick jump from there to something else is we always have the patron saint of, and there is a patron saint for everything.
There is.
Patron saint of mailmen, patron saint of Omega Mortgage.
Well, the one that I know is St. Jude, Help of the Hopeless. Mm-hmm. I have that in my yard. My mother always had that. I've known that saint from the day I was born. Help of the hopeless. Okay, we're okay now. We got a saint that'll help us.
I'm okay.
That's right. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
Do we have to clean those up too?
Oh, it's probably coming.
My statue is still there. My statue is still there.
It's probably coming in the future.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not getting rid of that statue. That's staying. Nobody's taking that from me. What can I tell you? Oh, but we have a lot of fun, right?
We do.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
There's probably the patron saint of laughter.
I forgot to talk about National Hobo Day, so let's cover that. We still have a little bit of time left. National Hobo Week is August 10th through the 13th, so we're in National Hobo Week. It's observed in conjunction with the National Hobo Convention. I wonder if they're still having it.
So I want the Websters on a hobo, right? I want Websters.
There's hobo language. There is so plan to attend the National Hobo Convention, and unlike homeless people, these folks work. They travel the country, and they're still hobos. So it's a whole different mentality than, quote, the homeless that we talk about, right? And it says a common misconception about hobos is they do not work. Many hobos have a trade skill and were essentially traveling workers. They should not be compared to, quote, tramps who travel and don't work, or bums who don't travel or work, right? And I said homeless, probably shame on me, but that's kind of what we all think of. So that wasn't a term back then.
I'll bet you if you looked in the synonym dictionary, they would be all related.
Yeah, but it's not, because these folks are...
seem a little cuter to me.
They do, don't they? Yeah, they have cuter pictures for sure.
Yeah.
I like it, April.
What was Red Skeleton? What was
he was like a hobo, right?
He was something. What was his name?
I don't remember.
They were romantic, though, riding the trains.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we're going to be right back. We're going to do Book Lovers Week and some other things, and then we'll have Rita Gal Says. We'll be right back with you.
Hey, all you entrepreneurs out there. Whether you have a small business or work from home, LeRue Press offers a virtual office and business address for all your business needs. Located at 280 Gregg Street, Suite 10, LeRue Press is your personal assistant for friendly all-day service. Need a conference room to meet with clients? You got it. With LeRue Press, you also get phone answering service, mail forwarding, package pickup, and even help branding your business. Call LeRue Press at 849-3814 or go online to lrpnv.com.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
Oh, yeah! It was like lightning. Everybody was frightening. And the music was soothing. And they all started grooving. And the man at the back said, everyone attack. And they turned into a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy, I want the money. And it'll turn into a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz.
Welcome back. Woohoo! Haven't heard that music in a while, huh, guys?
I know.
I didn't see you dancing, though.
Yeah.
So
What happened?
I was dancing inside my head. That's one of my changes.
I'm not buying it. Sorry. Not buying
Well,
it.
boy, there was a lot of room to dance in there, wasn't there?
Isn't it, though? Really, lots.
And April, you weren't either. I don't know what that's all about. What's
I don't hear it. Sadly, I
I forgot
hear it on my
about
end.
that. So
On
sorry.
occasion- I have heard it on occasion, and I love it, but
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Well, you need to be back in the studio, Paul.
I do. I do.
How is that,
Yeah.
Paul?
That's right.
Yeah.
Jan has a problem with names. Right?
That's right.
No, we're sending a secret message out.
No, I was going to say, that's right, John. Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Shush. He's listening.
oh, hey, man.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, as I said earlier, it is also National Book Lovers Day.
Yay.
So, yay. So, we wanted to do a book blitz today because it's National Book Lovers Day, right?
It's cool to be a geek.
Is that what we are when we love books?
It
No.
is.
Then I'm a geek.
I
That's
think
fine.
they're part of the original geekness, right? Books were here before technology.
It's true. It's true. And now you can have technology and have books. So
Yep.
that's all good.
And geeky's in vogue.
Yeah, that's right. You can remember when they were chipping them in rocks, huh?
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. We're going far here. All right. Well, on August 9th, it was National Book Lovers Day. And according to what they say off of our lovely national calendar, it harnesses all the excitement bibliophiles like us feel about books in one celebration, right? I'm getting this look like, okay.
Was there like a president?
Yeah, woohoo! Yeah, boy, that's right.
Was there a presidential, like...
It was a day for all of us who love to read, and don't say you don't, Ed, because you read a lot of Mrs. Halifax. And National Book Lovers Day encourages you to find your favorite reading place, a good book, or listen to What's the Story, and we'll share some good books with you. And a bibliophile, for anyone who might not know, is a person who has a great appreciation for or collects books.
So, bibliothèque in
Yeah.
français
There you
is
go.
library.
Yeah. The very first books used parchment or vellum, calfskin, for the book pages. The book covers were made of wood and often covered with leather. And clasps or straps kept the books closed. And then public libraries appeared in the Middle Ages. I don't know if you knew that. That's when they came about. So they're not here now. They're all closed.
Yeah, they are.
So sorry.
But that was back, right,
Why are they-
monasteries and stuff, right? Keeping records.
Yeah, it's
Why
true.
are they closed?
COVID, baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Well, we have to keep the electorate dumb.
I think they just need to put 99 cents on the sign
Yeah,
on them,
yeah.
and they'll be just like 99-cent store, right? They'll be
That's
busy
right.
as beavers, and everyone will be doing it.
Yes, so along with several recent developments, book manufacturers use digital printing, which is what we do. Book pages are printed using toner rather than ink. And I don't know if a lot of people know that it's toner, not ink. And as a result of digital printing, print on demand opens up a whole new realm of publishing. And we do print on demand, and that's literally on site. And we can do one book, and we can do 1,000 books. So it's incredible.
I mean, that the technology is there. You're talking about in your shop, come see you, and you can print. Well, you need 1,000 books. Got it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll
probably need that many.
Oh my.
That's good.
Wow.
One can hope.
One can hope. It's a
sell
good book.
the Hilton Hotels chain?
That's right.
That's right. I don't even have that many relatives.
Right.
Well, let's get started here. April, I'm going to let you go first and share the book that you would recommend for our listeners to read.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back in time here a little bit to Jane Austen, and I recommend Sense and Sensibility. My mom sent me a text the other day. She said, I just finished watching Sense and Sensibility. Now I want the book. And I said, it's a good book.
How
so I
about
recommend Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen.
All right, that's awesome. Excellent.
You know, I honestly couldn't wait to come in and recommend this book. I mean, but there's a companion book to it. I'll get to it. Anyway, the book is Unbroken, and it's by Laura Hildebrand, and it's about the war with Japan.
Oh.
But the companion book is The Altered Eye by guess who?
Miss April Kempner.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know I was a companion to that wonderful other book.
Oh, the stories are so similar, one in Germany, one in Japan, but the mindset was the same, and each book just rivets you. Maybe it's because of my naivety to history, but I read this, and you talk about page turner, man, oh man, I hate to put it down. And it was, anyway, to prove my point, and you're going to laugh at this, Laura Hildebrand has 29,000 reviews.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's such a good writer or historian. Really.
Oh, absolutely.
What a great comparison, though,
Yeah,
April. We'll have to do a side-by-side with your book online.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it goes because if anybody wanted to know about history and about true evil, there were two countries that had the same mindset, that they thought they were better than everybody else, and they were going to purge the world of those that weren't as good as they were.
Jan and I have been trying to do that.
Ah, well, you know. We keep trying.
We've been working on it right through Watch the Story. We're going through the airwaves. Watch out, computer.
All right. Ed, you're up.
So it's true. I've been hooked on Mrs. Polifax. The author of those books, they're so nice, is Dorothy Gilman. And it's light mystery reading, right? I can pull up and read an hour and be fresh as a daisy and go back and do my stuff, and that's kind of one of the things I do. But Mrs. Polifax Unveiled, Dorothy Gilman really closes quick, and you don't see it coming, and right, you can go, hey, I got 10 pages, I don't know what she's doing. Right?
How can we be closing this now?
But it's highly entertaining and brings a smile to my face, and likely yours.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I am a witness that this guy comes in and he comes and gets his Mrs. Polifax. We've got them all set aside for him.
So you got to get by that bookstore, right? When they come in there, man, it's just like rolling them out.
That's right.
Yep. A really strong case for that book. I'm going to have to start reading it.
They're just fun and light and quick, but
it's easy read. That's what's nice about it.
And I enjoy that. It's a break for me.
That's what's fun about reading.
Yeah.
You know, the nice thing is if you don't like it, what do? Set it down, get another book.
That's right.
So
open something else.
It's not like someone's torturing you to read it.
Well, and my follow-up here is nowhere near that kind of reading. However, it is an easy read, and it's called Don't Let Technology Crack Your Nest Egg, Rethinking Personal Finance for the Digital Age. And it is a guest that we had, Ken Kamen. We had him on A Pinch of Basil right before we did What's the Story. Great guest, and such a good book for kind of understanding where technology has taken us, because he's researched this pretty extensively, and he's not a young man, so it's not like it's all geeky. It really talks about the effects that this has on our lives, and that whole one-click thing, and how it can really hurt you, right? It can hurt your life, the addictions that are out there, all the different things that technology has done to us, how it can listen to us when Siri's listening all the time. So I just think it's really informative, and like I say, he was a great guest, and we enjoyed having him on. So I recommend Don't Let Technology Crack Your Nest Egg. If you're young or old, whatever, I think it's a great book to read through, and it's not real geeky. I guess that's what I would say.
It doesn't read geeky.
No.
Low geeky level.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know how it ends.
That's right. Right. So anyway, but good book. Check it out. And if you're into the whole personal finance thing, which we all should be to some degree, even if you're already retired, it's something you got to keep track of, because you don't know how long you might live now.
Well, best I know you want to, right? It's that one thing you put out. It's not like going to the dentist, right? I mean, there's a real impact here.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah, wish I could make as much money as the dentist.
Most people
careful what you wish for, because you never know, what might happen. So, April, tell us about Reno Gal Says. What's happening there?
Well, I guess we're going to be talking about change. Am I up now or after the break?
After the break, yeah. I just thought I'd give you a little chance to do a teaser.
Well, this ever since the COVID-19 lockdown and restrictions and phase 2 and no phases, but just gradual openings, there's been so many changes in our lives just in general. And I want to talk about some of those changes that I personally experienced.
Awesome. Wonderful.
These Hostess cupcakes are smaller. That's a change.
See, I made the mistake of bringing them Hostess cupcakes. What can I say? And no, they're not a sponsor, but we'd love to have them.
Yeah. It is kind of small but tasty.
Oh, yeah, very good. Very good. Nothing bad about a Hostess cupcake.
That's right.
Sorry, and I'm avoiding them, but, they are.
I should.
Nothing's changed with Ed.
No, not that part. All right, you are listening to What's the Story. We hope you will stick with us. And Reno Gal Says is next with April Kempler, and we'll be right back.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In '05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in '09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Now she's gone like a...
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? And we are here on a Tuesday afternoon having a great time.
Yep.
And
who's your accountability partner?
My accountability partner?
Yeah.
You.
Well, it was on that issue, right? Don't we have different accountability
for different things?
Yep.
That's
totally.
right. That's right. So I know who your accountability partner is, Doug.
I know.
She's sitting out there in the audience today.
Yeah.
It's not
See?
that girl you didn't ask out.
Yeah. She's got a smile on her face, so we can't be doing too bad.
No, we're doing all right, I think. So April, it is time for Reno Gal Says. And Reno Gal Says what?
Reno Gal says that now is a good time to change how you handle your adversities, your trials, your who you are, your personality. I was just talking to Paul about this the other day because we were talking about the exercise program that I follow, and my gym closed, permanently, and I've been forced to stick to the routine that I developed when all this went down. And he was saying, you could have gone one of two ways. You could have just quit, or you could have said, no, I'm adapting to this. And I did. I've adapted. So for all this time, I've been doing it pretty regularly. So that is sort of an example of how this change in how we're living these days has impacted my life personally. And I think a lot of people are sort of embracing it in a way. They're trying to cope in the best way they can. And it is involved change. We're not the same people that we used to be. So for example, I feel much more stronger than I did when I first started. I feel healthier. I feel like I made better choices as far as food goes in the house, how we eat, how we cook. I'm a better cook. And Paul's a better cook. This, with the restaurants closing, we could have been, wondering, well, what do we do? Where are we going to eat? And
did you guys eat out a lot? Was that your routine?
No, but I know a lot of people did. My cooking has gotten just a little bit more creative.
And why do you think that changed? Because of?
I didn't want to waste anything in the refrigerator.
Oh.
Because we were talking about food supply chains and shortages.
Oh, okay, I got you. I couldn't figure out how this all related.
I was going to say, April and I have something in common.
And so
I pretty much cook what's left.
Yeah, I've repurposed a lot of leftovers and turned them into even more interesting, better meals. So that was like a surprise to me. Paul and I have become better shoppers. We don't just run into a store anymore. We carefully consider what the store is, what do we need. We're more efficient, so our time is counted better with these changes. I also feel like we have made a lot of good connections with people. We really reached out to people that maybe we hadn't heard from in a long time, but we wanted to reach out, and not just Zoom, but just talking on the phone, or we've had a lot of our friends over to our backyard chats, 6 feet distance, nobody's touching anything. So
I'm going to have one of those this weekend.
Yeah, so
don't ask, don't tell.
You can do these. We've become more organized. We've set, we prioritize, and I think that's the key here. Prioritize what you want. You can blame everything. You can blame everything but what is really to blame, or what the problem is. But it starts with yourself to make these changes and set priorities for yourself, and think outward. What can I do for somebody instead of so inward? And so I think these were just changes that happened to me in that I used to be a much more nervous person. And one of the biggest changes is I'm calmer. I am only focusing on what I can control. And
I think
so
that's
when
an interesting reaction to something like this, because you
I'd
really
agree.
could have. No, it's a good
Yeah.
reaction, but it could have gone a whole different way.
It could have gone sideways.
From what you're
And
describing.
Right, this is
Right.
that old axiom, right? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a fact.
No,
In a lot of ways, it did take in a lot of ways, it took a few punches, and I really suffered. But in and out, and finally, I feel like I'm getting some traction on myself, and I literally felt grieving over some of the things I had lost in my life. I would get these pains, just these sadness would come over me, and I realized once you identify what it is that's affecting you, you can move forward from there, because then you know what it is and you know how to cope with it.
It's so awesome, April.
Well, knowledge is power, right?
Well, so few. I mean, it's all the coaching and stuff we always talk about, right? You get out there, you try. You're going to have challenges, right? And those challenges shape us. And then we survive those challenges and find opportunity and pursue it. And I'm really excited for you and Paul. That was really well said and well put. Because we talk about little parts of
personal,
it. We talk about it in little bits, but that's the big picture, folks. That's what that's what we're trying to do.
And anybody can do it, and I strongly encourage you. I feel like I'm a better person from all of this. I told Paul, I hate this COVID. I hate what it has done to all of us. I hate the businesses that are gone. I hate the life that everyone is forced to live. But I have to say, I have had some really great changes. I've really made some real efforts, and I feel positive about.
April, I would talk. My dad was completely out of shape, overweight, heavy drinker, did everything that you shouldn't do. And I used to, worry about him. I talked to him just exactly about what you said. And he looked at me and he said, it doesn't make you live any longer. You just think you do.
Right. Well, we need to spend whatever time we have being more happy and have more joy than being miserable. So whatever, if that's a trick of the mind, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Did you see that text? Came over from USA Today. April Kempler is now the Veep candidate for Joe Biden. He has ditched Kamala Harris and he's gone with April Kempler. It's news. Look at that, creating all that energy. There we go.
She has declined the offer.
I'm in a perfect position here. I mean, I do have my little moments. I still have my little temper tantrums and everything, and I get frustrated very easily.
Boy, April, you're really bearing your soul here today.
Well, you should know I'm not perfect. I can have a real temper tantrum.
Oh, you just burst my bubble. I was sure you were perfect.
Yep, I knew it too.
But I'm more fun.
Oh, well, that was excellent. Thank you for sharing that. That was much more than I probably would have in your position. But I think it's helpful to lots of people that, just hearing how you coped and how you dealt with all of that.
Right. You just take one issue at a time and say, well, how can I make that better? How can I improve on that?
It's amazing because most people are intimidated by change, but it looks like you hit it, head on. So,
I don't like change. I'm the first person. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to learn a new thing, but I've been forced to have to learn a lot of new things.
So April's in that space, right? We're going to be talking about change, but most people, change is just uncomfortable.
Right.
Right. It's not anything else. It's not like a fuzzy couch with a dog on it that
and
you're
I
sitting
love change.
So right. And so change is just that uncomfortable feeling, and April's excelled. I think most people, when they know where they are, excel in that situation. We try to put ourselves there in business, and the coronavirus has done it, and we need to take opportunity.
Right.
One of the things that's going unsaid here is that you can't do it alone, and April has a partner that is with her all along the way, and that's half the battle right there.
It's huge.
Yeah, we're on the same side. We're helping each other too.
Right. No, and that is, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is really important, because you could have been doing all of this, and if you didn't have that support behind you, even if it wasn't real, forceful, just if he were challenging everything, it would make it hard for you to do that.
Yeah,
So.
but that's also why I reached out to others who don't necessarily have the support system I have. I reached out so that perhaps I could be someone's support.
Well, that's nice. That's
it's interesting because I do have that in my partner, and I mean by virtue of the fact I'm living in Nevada now. When I retired from the fire department, I said, "Deb, we're moving." She says, "Where?"
You're lucky that's what she said.
I know. Well, there was a comma after the where. I just didn't get it. I kind of stated it as a period. But
Well, that's awesome. Well, we're going to talk some more about change after we have a long break coming up here. We're going to have our news. Yeah, I know. It came fast, didn't it? This was a quick hour.
It always does.
I know. Yeah, but when we come back in our second hour, we're going to do some current events. I like to cover some things that have been happening out there. And then we're going to come back to our topic of change. And as I told you in the beginning of this hour, we have the drug bandit that I knew. Can't wait to tell that story. Love story time. You guys like story time?
Yeah.
Always like story time. I'm still trying to picture this drug bandit.
You are not going to believe who this person is. Yeah, it's just
she
amazing.
has good stories.
Sounds like a bandit of love.
I still like the Russian story from last week.
Which Russian story?
Chefs. The chefs.
Oh, that was so good. I love that story.
I couldn't find the picture of it. I'm gonna have to.
I will send it to you. Yeah, go to the. You can go to the What's the Story
Facebook
page.
and Twitter pulled it down. It was controversial. It was controversial. They yanked it.
Yeah, Tanisha said that picture I can't unsee.
I just thought about. I never saw the picture, but I just thought about what it symbolized to them all week. You know?
I can still picture that bathing suit, the two-piece.
All right. Well, we'll be back after the news, so don't go away. We'll have some current events and some other stuff.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
This is America Matters Media Radio, heard worldwide on the web at americamatters.us and on KCKQ 1180 AM, Reno.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
Joe Biden announced via Twitter that he selected Senator Kamala Harris from California to be his running mate. Regarding the pick of Harris, former vice presidential candidate Joe Lieberman tells Fox News,
people would say, what was it like? I said, it was like being on a magic carpet from August through Election Day.
During his coronavirus briefing, President Trump reacts to the news.
So I was a little surprised that he picked her. I've been watching her for a long time, and I was a little surprised. She was extraordinarily nasty to Kavanaugh, Judge Kavanaugh then, now Justice Kavanaugh. She was nasty to a level that was just a horrible thing, the way she treated now Justice Kavanaugh.
Senator Harris and Biden will appear for the first time together at an event on Wednesday. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I am very pleased with your product. I haven't been sick since I've been taking this, and I contribute a lot of my energy and my health to your product, and I just want to keep taking it. So you guys just keep making it, okay? I just thank God for your company.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code USA.
While you have free time and you're sitting at home and you ponder what kind of gifts to buy for someone, PatriotDepot.com has you covered from puzzles, games, novelty items. If you're looking for some unique style items when it comes to the president, for more you can check out PatriotDepot.com. Call 844-377-8052. That's 844-377-8052 or PatriotDepot.com. Use promo code USA.
In Illinois, Cook County State Attorney Kim Foxx is being criticized for not prosecuting other looters earlier this summer who were arrested during protests sparked by the death of George Floyd. Police Superintendent David Brown saying the looters are emboldened since there were no consequences, while Mayor Lightfoot said looters need to be held accountable and not cycled through the system. This has former Chicago cop Anthony Napolitano saying Foxx needs to go.
It's time to step up. I think Chicagoans woke up on Monday and drew a line in the sand and said, you're either on the side of good or you're on the side of evil. And if the state's attorney can't do it, she's got to step down.
More than 1 million homes and businesses are without power as cleanup continues in the Midwest. A rare windstorm known as a Dorico ripped through 770 miles in 14 hours. The presidents of the Big Ten and Pac-12 schools say there will be no college football in their conferences this fall because of the coronavirus pandemic. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Working from home? I'm Chad Dodd, veterinarian and consultant to Limp Bells. Here are some tips for keeping your dog fit while staying at home. Find 15 minutes twice a day and walk your pet at a decent pace around your place. Play hide and seek by hiding some kibble or favorite toys and letting your dog find them. If you have stairs and your dog is mobile, walk up and down twice a day for 5 to 10 minutes. Or better yet, try a power walk on your terrace or backyard for some fresh air. There are more helpful pet care tips at youmove.com, spelled youmove.com.
Facebook is rolling out a new policy that will prevent U.S. news publishers with direct, meaningful ties to political groups from claiming the news exemption within its political ads authorization process. Since the 2016 election, reporters and researchers have uncovered over 1,200 instances in which political groups used websites designed as local news outlets to push their point of view on Americans. Many of these sites leveraging social media advertising, such as Facebook and Twitter, to boost their content. And finally, former Vermont Governor and Democratic National Committee Chair Howard Dean endorsed the Chinese government's sanctions against Republican senators and called for their expulsion from the United States. Dean, in a tweet supporting Beijing's decision to impose economic sanctions on 11 U.S. senators and human rights activists, including Republican senators Josh Hawley of Missouri and Marco Rubio of Florida. Dean tweeting, "We'd like to sanction them too. Can we send them to Beijing permanently?" Dean, of course, remembered for this campaign moment in Iowa back in 2004.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters Media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Now she's gone like a little in a song all the way to MIA, where
Welcome back. This is What's the Story. This is our second hour. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
I love that music.
I do too. Isn't it funny how when you first heard it, you're kind of, I'm not sure. But now it's like, oh, wow. I just think this is
even to
awesome.
that short little clip, I'm doing some foot tapping.
Yeah, I know.
Stuff like that. Well, our social distance line dancing.
Yes.
Right.
That is Susie Hessner, and she writes and produces her music, and Light Black Productions records it. And so, yeah, they are our sponsors. And I keep forgetting to say anything. Sorry, guys. It's not my job to forget. It's my job to remember.
I don't think they could have a better, something supporting them better than that tape. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. They both, on all aspects of it are good. So, you look like you're lost here. Where'd you go? Where are you out there? Are you out there in the mall?
Well, I was watching everybody walk by with masks on, and I couldn't help but think, when will this end? I mean, what's the exit plan? Does anybody know? I mean,
well, I keep hearing about vaccine and
we're going to
different
wake
things.
up.
Yeah, one day it's just going to be not there anymore.
It's going to be moved through.
Yeah.
Which is what it's doing. It's just moving through the populations.
Right.
And when it's done, it'll be gone for a year or so.
And then the next.
Well, in 1918, they had much the same problem we did today with the mask issue and people getting upset about that. I don't have the article on this particular computer. I had it up for last week, and it was just amazing to read it because it's no different. People are people. We're still the same people.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that's almost heartening to know, right?
I was going to say, likely they're more afraid now.
Right.
Than
I
then
think they are.
Because of what, like April was talking about, what they've survived.
Right.
Well, I think the difference between us and now and then is the fact that then the entire country was pulling the rope in the same direction. We don't have that now. It's too divided.
Right. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of current events here, and one of the articles that ran across my phone was North Korea publicly executes 6 by firing squad, including 4 officials. So automatically, in my brain at least, I was like, oh no, that's horrible, and it is. Don't get me wrong, it is horrible. But the reason that they did it is very different than what you might think. Because, you might just say, oh, he's getting rid of people again, right? I mean, is that kind of not your first thought, right? The 6 were executed by firing squad on July 20th. They were accused of buying sex or pimping in a network of paid trysts between officials and students at high-end public bathhouse patronized by the city's elites, the sources said. So the story behind it is very different than that headline, right?
So it's exactly what you said, though. He didn't like them. Right, because you got to expect that's a common thing.
It may be, but it's still a very different reason than, because they do say that if you go on to the article, it may have been, the execution order may have been given by Kim Jong-un, but...
Maybe he's got a U.S. PR guy now.
I was at the scene of the public execution and saw 4 Pyongyang party officials and 2 pimps being executed for organized prostitution. An official of the Pyongyang Municipal, my phone's jumping, Municipal Judicial Agency told RFA Thursday. This particular case involved long-term organized prostitution for officials using private karaoke rooms, and on and on and on. The source said that more people were implicated than just the 6 who were publicly executed. But it still sounds like a lot more than just, hey, they just,
didn't like
they
him.
just didn't like him and did him in.
Right.
So, I just think that as the technology that we have is so prevalent that we really need to look at the stories closer than just that headline that's trying to grab you to click.
Isn't that what we found out last week with about the girl who went back to
Exactly.
Juvenile Hall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of what triggered me on this.
Yeah.
Was the fact that I said, wait a minute, let me read that because my first my first inclination was, oh, he's at it again, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, no, don't do that. Read the article. And that's when I thought, no, I really do. I felt like there was a little more to it. There was a little more behind it than just that. And it may have been all that. I'll grant you. But at least there was a little more reporting done than what the headline gave us. So generations born since 1981 have overtaken boomers. Oh, the boomers are dying off, and the 1981ers are taking over.
Yeah.
Are they
That's
balloon
frightening.
lit? Oh, they're millennial.
That's frightening.
They are millennials, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're still millennials in 1981. They are making up the majority of the U.S. population. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, that they finally taken over the boomers.
Well, how many boomers a day are dying? I mean, it's no. The reason I say that is the numbers are staggering. When you think that when you talk about veterans from World War II, if you look at the statistics about how many of those die a day, I mean, it's not one or two; it's in the thousands, and it's absolutely amazing.
I was going to say there can't be a whole bunch left.
Right. So here's a fun one. Egypt tells Elon Musk, no, the pyramids were not built by aliens. So there you go. Poor Elon. Does he think that they were built by aliens?
I think he's been watching SG-1, right? SG-1 on Comet.
Yeah, I guess he went to Twitter to claim they were built by aliens. The Tesla and SpaceX boss shared the oft-repeated conspiracy theory on Friday, saying aliens built the pyramids. So Egypt's Minister of International Cooperation tweeted her admiration for Musk and his work at SpaceX and extended an invitation for him to visit the pyramids to see for himself.
That's what he
that was a
wanted.
nice
Now he's going to
invitation.
figure out a way. He's like, okay, let's get this thing to fly.
Yeah, she suggested he research how they were built and visit the tombs of the builders.
He's going to be under there. We're going to figure out how to fly those things.
That's right. I just thought those were kind of interesting
that
headlines.
is.
So
That is.
I thought I'd share those with you. And then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Mint begging for change. And then we'll talk change some more. So stay with us. Do not go away. And
That's because we changed the format.
that's right. We did. We changed a lot of things.
That's right.
Along with COVID.
Change is good.
Change is good. We'll be right back. This is What's the Story.
Hey, all you entrepreneurs out there. Whether you have a small business or work from home, LeRue Press offers a virtual office and business address for all your business needs. Located at 280 Gregg Street, Suite 10, LeRue Press is your personal assistant for friendly all-day service. Need a conference room to meet with clients? You got it. With LeRue Press, you also get phone answering service, mail forwarding, package pickup, and even help branding your business. Call LeRue Press at 849-3814 or go online to lrpnv.com.
Destination Midtown. Experience the difference. Reno's premier shopping extravaganza. Everything imaginable and more. Midtown matters. Get down to Midtown.
Ponderosa Meats, the anchor of Midtown since 1954. USDA choice, USDA prime cut. Ponderosa grass-fed beef. Call 775-322-4063. Ponderosa Meats, tradition, quality, and prime service.
Midtown Reno. Experience the difference. Get down to Midtown. Midtown matters.
Rich is just a really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now, back to the show.
Good evening. I'm Tom Montongo for CRP News. Tonight in the news is, well, the news. Are there news organizations out there reporting news on the pandemic in such a way to stretch out this quarantine and in effect keep their captive audience captive for a little bit longer than necessary? And if so, shame on them. It's like the old saying, when people in the news are the news, something stinks in West Chesterfield. Here at CRP, we don't care if the news went away tomorrow. We'd be just fine. So if that happens, don't be surprised to see me on your doorstep saying, I'm Tom Montongo, and here's your pizza.
Welcome back. That was Tom Montongo, and he might be delivering your pizza.
So
if the news
maybe
goes
next
away.
week I'd like to see him in the studio. He can bring a pizza.
That's right. Yeah, we could use it to be better than cupcakes, right?
Well, right, where you get both hands going on.
That's right. Yeah.
You know.
Little messier though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a good thing.
We might have to have our disinfecting wipes.
You know, I watched a video today. This is totally off topic, but just because you were saying the wipes and all that. And, you know, you watch these videos where they tell you how to put your mask on, right? So let's put our mask on. You use your sanitizer, and they do this whole thing. And then they very carefully put their mask on and make sure it's, you know, fitted right and never touch it again. So the woman, there was in Seattle, the police chief resigned, right? So she went on air and she's doing her little resignation. Every time they walk up to the podium, they take their mask off. She takes her mask off. She starts to, like, she's playing with it throughout the whole time. Then, you know, never uses sanitizer, let me tell you. And then after she's done, you know, they say, okay, well, we went on to talk to the mayor. Then she picks her mask up and puts it back on again. Then again, comes back to the podium, takes her mask off, plays around with it. She's touching it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. She is like the example of what not to do with your mask.
That's most people, though.
It is. And I really think that it's so ridiculous that we're putting so much value on that. Not that maybe there isn't some benefit. I'm not going to be a mask denier or a mask supporter, but I am going to say that when you do all of that, and I mean, where's my mask right now? I'll be honest with you. My mask is in this bag over here. And yeah.
I was cleaning up near beer with mine. But right, I support the face.
Hey.
Support the face.
It's kind of cool because you can use them as a little slingshot, too.
So you get the drift, though. I mean, this has become, I don't know. It just doesn't even make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense when you see the public figures not honoring what they're trying to say we need to do.
So the mask was just the last item. There was nothing anyone could do. So
Right.
governors and political people said the mask because that's all there was.
Right.
Remember?
Well, I mean,
social
they're all-
distancing still better
They
than
don't
the mask.
fit right,
And
so you
then-
push your thing up, and
This-
you know, I mean, it's
This
so
comes under the
ridiculous.
category, well, damn it, do something.
Exactly.
Okay, well, do masks. That sounds good.
Well, in addition, apparently, along with having to wear masks and doing all of these other things, the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, says that the coronavirus caused a temporary coin shortage.
Nice.
Are you ready for that?
Cool.
So, my daughter said to me, well, probably all those people that took vacations and they'd empty out their jars, right, with all
We'd
the
be all
coins
good.
in it. If they would go back on vacation again, we would have the coins back in circulation.
So are you saying we have to change the change?
We need to change the change, yes. So amid the coronavirus crisis, Americans have largely abandoned cash in favor of credit cards or contactless payments. Love the contactless payment, right? As a result, there aren't enough pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters to go around. Well, I got plenty. I'll share.
I think I got a couple.
So now the U.S. Mint, which manufactures coins, is asking for help. There is an adequate amount of coins in the economy, but the slowed pace of circulation has meant that sufficient quantities of coins are sometimes not readily available where needed. I really don't understand the concept, but we ask the American public start spending their coins, depositing them, or exchanging them for currency at financial institutions, or taking them to a coin redemption kiosk that is always broken.
I think they're in slot machines, right? They're all in like bottomless slot machines, right? They just keep them and invest
I miss being able to go to a slot machine
Yeah,
and
what
put a
up?
coin in. That was part of the fun, was just putting those
coins
took you
and
longer,
fun.
right? It took you a lot longer because you have a lot of coins. You got to put them in and then pull the lever.
Well, right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of our listeners, and certainly I know quite a few people who entertain themselves that way, right, in this town. Well,
Just
gaming, right?
Yeah, go and
once
sit at
a
a slot
month,
machine.
once a week.
It's kind of funny because I tried to be prepared with that, and I read on the internet, and I thought, this is really our government at its finest, because a little bit further down it says the U.S. Coin Task Force was established. Just what we need, a task force to study the problem. I wonder if they're making
Seriously?
money too.
So who's leading
Absolutely.
it? Who's leading it? Who's leading it?
We have to have a task force.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
Coin
Well,
shortage.
I went on that one. I can help that one.
Yeah, it said the task force members will represent all major participants of the corn supply chain, including representatives from the following groups: United States Mints, Federal Reserve, American Bankers Association, Independent Community Bankers Association, National
Looks like a
Association.
banker. That's what I'm saying. Looks like a banker or
That's right.
two.
Well, let's get them all together. Let's make, and I wonder if that commission will ever end.
No commission ever ends.
And another thing, too, I gleaned from the article, for every penny it's made, it takes the mint, it costs them 2 cents
Yes,
to make a penny.
I remember reading that.
Well, and
Yeah.
they're just look like little carnival tokens anyway, right? They're almost like casino chips.
Well, what I really think is funny is when you go for a contactless payment and then they have you pick up a pen that's sitting there, right? Or they hand you a pen, right? And I'm like, how is this working? I mean, I don't care. I use it.
But it's that mind thing where they pretend to be conscious, but they're not really.
Right, yeah.
That's the world mostly. Best I can tell, that's everywhere.
Why are we doing this?
That's exactly right,
you
I
know?
think.
I mean, I guess it's okay. I don't know. I'm just confused. Totally confused. And speaking of that, I want to remind everybody that What's the Story is online. So go to thebookgallerynv.com.
And you don't have to pay anything.
You don't have to pay
No
anything.
change needed.
No change needed.
What?
Just go to the What's the Story tab on there and you'll be able to check that out. This issue is School Days. We aren't doing months. We're doing issues. Last issue was the Freedom issue. This one is School Days. And our writers kind of discussed a little bit about what their opinions were of how to get people back to school. Some differing opinions there, of course.
What? I have something to say about that. My granddaughter.
Not you.
Yes, my granddaughter is going to be a senior. She starts school on Monday, so she needs to get a hold of her counselor. For the past week, she has tried every day, and her counselor isn't answering the phone.
She probably doesn't have her gloves on.
So, wait a minute. She actually read the stuff from the school board?
Yeah, no problem. I don't.
That's the trouble.
We need a commission.
Task force.
Task force. Yeah.
That's right. Task force. Create a task force. We'll have a good time with that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That whole school thing.
Yeah.
It's like airplanes.
You
They're
know,
just pretending.
For a group of really educated people, leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, education degree is among the easiest to get. Tanisha like that.
I will not comment on that at all.
My mom and aunt, teachers, but yeah, it always has been.
I won't even comment. No comment at all. What I will say is that she is going back to teaching, so she's going to be in the classroom.
And I'll say though, that's where the solutions are, right? They're teachers in the room. It's not a money issue. These administrators manipulating folks and trying to get test grades, get kids over them. Right, it's about teachers in the rooms.
Yeah.
Right, we need more teachers in the room and less admin.
Well, and I do want to say in her defense and in all the teachers' defense, it's hard for them. They're being asked to fulfill their normal obligation under some pretty different because they're being asked to in 4 or 5 days or 4 days to do a week's worth of work and not have the kids there all at the same time. It's just a juggle with no guidance.
So, but the thing with this, and I'm going to go double down, and this is the teachers have wanted out, right? Generally speaking, they're afraid to get involved, right? I'm like anti-union here. If they said, hey, let's just do it the way we planned it, everybody back, we're all in, it happened. But they fought it. They fought it.
Not all
of
of
them. Oh, I get you. But you know where I'm going. To me, they need to do what's best for them and best for the kids, which is
what's best for the kids is number one. That's how I feel about it. What's best for the kids.
Minus the parents.
Well, I don't know if you can do that.
Well, you have to.
We're going to be right back. This is What's the Story. More change.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Patterson. I'm the founder and owner of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists. At Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, we take a comprehensive approach to treating patients with chronic pain in the greater Reno, Tahoe area. We believe in the biopsychosocial model. This means we use multiple disciplines such as massage therapy, physical therapy, behavioral health, and medical treatments to treat your chronic pain. A plan of care is tailor-made for each individual patient. We always recommend conservative care first, but offer minimally invasive treatments when necessary. We are your one-stop shop. If it hurts, we can help. We pride ourselves in providing passionate care and making you feel welcome and understood. We are located in Reno and in Sparks, so give us a call to schedule a new patient consult at 284-8650. Again, that's 284-8650. Or visit our website at nvadvancedpain.com. We hope you choose Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists to be your center for injury rehabilitation. nvadvancedpain.com, 284-8650.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Wake up, the sun below. Got another road to sow. Let the fire feel the hope swelling up from the depths of my soul.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? Boy, keeping you guys quiet just for a second is hard.
There was like a beat.
There was a beat, but barely. Just barely. I gotta, come on.
Hey, when you're on a roll, you know.
I know. First I can't get you to talk, and now I can't get you to quiet.
Yeah.
So there we go. And I'm not going to try to keep you quiet. In fact, I think Ed has some stuff to talk about. This segment we were going to talk about how has change changed you.
And
Thought that would be an interesting
it is.
way to approach things.
It is, right? Coming into this, we've talked in the past, it's no secret, the banking pandemic, I went belly up and, lost everything and owed the IRS a ton. And I've come back and just purchased my house in February. Fortunately, just got in. But that was a change of the times. And now we're going to a time where nothing feels warm and fuzzy, comfortable, right? And I think that as we were talking with April, she's realized it and taken strides forward. And I think we all can. We either all curl up in a ball and want that comfort, or we can take that energy and do something new, right? Go to yoga, ride your bike, right? Or some of the things April mentioned. But it is a unique opportunity. Those who are trying to succeed work really hard to get out of their box,
right,
into this space, and we're accidentally in it, right? Maybe we can use it for ourselves. Somehow can we accomplish something we didn't think we could do, right? It's a good excuse to reach for the moon, right? I think David Bowie had it right when he said, time to face the strange, right? And I think that's what's ahead. And I think as the V45 and those folks in their confidence, it's important, right? We got to have swagger, right? Hopefully we have partners and friends and soldiers in what we're trying to do. But I think that you have to go forward with confidence.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But we talked a little bit about most people are intimidated by change. They like just a routine. I grew up with a very close friend. He was best man when Debbie and I got married. That you could set your watch by them. It's Thursday. They had meatloaf. I mean, that's how regimented their life was.
Well, heavy analytics, right? They like that order, right? Guys, 75% of them kind of got that analytic. We like our beds made, right? We like our shoes under the bed.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Familiarity, what's going on.
When I first became a mom, I remember that one of the things, because you read books and you people talk to you and you try and find out you thought you were ready, and then it's like, oh my God, I have the responsibility of this human being, right?
Yeah. Oh, don't think about that one.
I know.
Yeah.
And at that point, there were folks saying, well, you have to provide them with good routine, and I thought, oh, I'm going to fail. I am immediately going to fail at this because I'm not a routine type of person. I do have routine. Obviously, everybody's got routine. But I thought I have to do the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
I figured it out, obviously.
Well, right. But it's I think parents do that for them, not for the kids.
Right. Well, but
some kids
the
react well.
You,
some kids react well to it, some don't. But the fact is, right, as parents, we love our children, but most often we do stuff for our convenience, not theirs always.
I would think so, yeah.
Right,
I would
like,
think so,
okay,
yeah.
we want you to sleep when we're like
Yes, exactly. It's
working
time
in the
for you to
middle of
sleep
the-
now.
It's time for you to sleep 20 hours a day. Right? No, but you know what I'm talking, just little things like that.
You know, it's interesting because I never really ever put it in that perspective, but Debbie was very regimented with the kids. Hey, it's nap time.
Right.
You know, it's time to get up. It's time to eat. Time to go to bed.
Many
and
kids.
She did. She kept them.
She kept them.
She kept them.
Did you use that word in your book?
Yeah, I did. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's a good thing we have thesauruses, huh?
You know, I want to mention G.D. Fenderson left us a comment from our last segment, but it kind of still also applies to talking about change, right? Almost every food delivery service claims contactless prep and delivery. So they were needlessly touching our food before?
Right.
Right?
That's exactly
You know?
right.
It's relevant to change.
Totally.
Yeah. And it's true. All of a sudden, it goes right out of the oven onto the whatever.
Magically mixes and like.
I don't know how that happens.
Turns
how
it
do you
into
never touch it, right?
Yeah.
It just automatically gets into that box without you doing a thing.
Best I know, Chef Ramsay's drooling on it. You gotta live it. You gotta breathe
You
it.
love that show.
I like his passion. I think it's entertaining.
Oh, he's mean. He's just a mean guy.
But he's nice too. You gotta be cruel to be kind, right?
Okay. All right, if you say so.
Nick Lowe said so, but yeah, right?
So the whole idea of people who like change and adapt well to it and those who don't, with the pandemic, I think that they sort of all blended together because though I love change, I have to admit that this was a challenge for me as far as the differences, because I got to do the same thing every day. I still got to go to work. I still, because we were an essential. Essential was a joke because people weren't able to come out and go to your place of business. So what the heck?
Yeah.
There was no essentialness to it.
Right.
Right. So that part of the change for me was really difficult, and I found it real disruptive
because you had no control over it, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
and there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, you didn't have it. So, yeah.
It wouldn't matter how much marketing I did, how many phone calls I made, how many emails I sent out. It does not change a thing. They're all like sitting on their hands saying, well, until this is gone, I'm not doing anything.
With type A personalities that run their own life.
Are you calling me a type?
Absolutely, and I would wear that as a badge of honor, because you control your own circumstances, and then for all of a sudden for you to turn it over to somebody else and say, "Oh no, you can't do that," and then you say, "Well, why?" and they go, "Well, we can give you a bunch of reasons. None of them make sense, but
here you go."
Yeah, that's right. So that's tough.
I have to admit that was a real challenge in my world, and
I'm still messing with routine, and even if the show's on a Tuesday, I had a meeting every day. I was a rhythm guy, man. I had a meeting every
disrupted that
every day. I had one-on-ones every day, and now those meetings went away, right, and they became maybe short phone calls and Mrs. Polifax. Right.
Dorothy Gilman, thank you so much.
And now Perry Mason.
Earl Stanley Gardner.
But my schedule was so cattywampus, and I still haven't settled. And I was kind of deciding whether it's a good thing or bad thing, because business is good.
Yeah.
Right. And that's so different than the last recession that we went through for you, because, it wasn't good. And for us too.
I was talking with, had my coffee connection with Marvin Parker today, who's a realtor, and he came in and he was talking, because we've both had challenges in the past, and we were talking about those struggles, like people now, right, man? If you ever got a flat tire today, right? If you ever, ran out of propane in your barbecue today, right? These aggravations that happen while we're having other aggravations, stubbing your toe, right? And people thinking they're off to the bad day. But those of us that have been on that poverty line and who have kicked it and come back and survived through those things, we're way meaner, leaner for it.
Yeah, it's true.
And these challenges that happen, it's ridiculous, because something's coming. Doesn't matter. There was a time where changing a tire was half a day deal. Right now it's like, can't get in the way.
It's interesting because through all of this, it's something that I've tried to preach to anybody that would listen. The reason you were successful is you took the responsibility to change it.
Right.
You didn't say, oh, it's his fault or so-and-so's fault. You understand that the answer lied within you, and you had to change it. Nobody else was going to do it for you.
And kind of leaning a little bit toward politics, one of the things, my sister and I were talking about this today, one of the things that I get very annoyed about is these successful individuals, it doesn't matter what color they are or whatever, but they tend to lean on the left that become victims. And I think to myself, hang on a second, you're successful, and sure, you had to endure a lot of the pangs of discrimination and unfairness because you're a woman or whatever. But guess what? So did all of we. We're all, you're more successful than I, and yet you're the victim? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think that if the average person would look at them and really evaluate it on an honest basis as opposed to what they're trying to, impress you with and sell, then you would recognize the fact that, hold on, part of the reason you are who you are is because of that adversity.
Always.
And because of what you had to go through. It made you stronger. And it sounds horrible and it sounds mean, and I'll probably get
if
nailed later for that, but oh well.
People are way more interesting if they have experiences, right?
Absolutely.
You look at, why do you think all these
I had a problem
kings...
with Sears, and when I was up in Klamath Falls, Oregon, and they denied me. I was separated from my husband. They denied me. That changed who I was because I had to fight that. I had to figure it out. I had to say, hold on. I'm my own person, and I'm making my own money, and you're not going to do that to me. It's sure, it was discrimination, if you want to call it that, but...
Why put a name on it?
Exactly. And why not just solve the problem? And again, now that makes me a different person today because I won't put up with that, and I'll be quicker to act.
Right.
And not react. I reacted, but
I'll
it's
act. Just adversity comes.
Yeah. All right, we are going to be right back, and we're going to tell a story about a drug bandit I knew. Right?
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to LRPNV.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to LRPNV.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Book Hound radio show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Man on the Map, does every week. Just go to LRPNV.com. That's LRPNV.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
Matthew.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Social Security is with you through life's journey from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, manage your benefits, and even change your address, all from the comfort of your home. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
GreatBasinHighway.com, Great Basin Highway Magazine, radio show. Visit GreatBasinHighway.com and sign up for a free online subscription to our magazine.
Now she's gone like a little.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. You are listening to What's the Story, and I'm Janice Hermson here with Ed Knoll, Doug Ashby. April left us last hour, but I'm sure that
she's listening. She better be.
She's trying to figure out a way so she can hang with us a little longer.
Yeah,
So
that's nice.
Part of the change was, losing her for that second hour. We just got her, and then she had to go away. So hopefully she'll figure that out.
That boy with the bubble, does he still have that bubble somewhere? She could get in it, right? We could bring it in. She could be in the bubble,
Yeah.
I know, that boy in the bubble. Oh, that was so long ago.
We're all in the bubble now, best I can
know.
tell, where they're trying to put us there.
They're trying to put us there, yeah. And it's somewhat successful, somewhat. It's what it has to be, I guess, for the moment. Just move forward.
That's right. Change is good.
Change is good.
Change is good.
This is story time. Just keep telling ourselves that.
Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's right. So this is story time, and story time.
The Love Bandit.
Well, I always look for interesting stories, right? Or I'm trying to find people that maybe have a good story, want to come on and share their story. So whatever direction it goes, it goes. Well, this weekend, as sometimes happens, I get this thing that pops into my email, and you guys may remember I've been doing a little bit of the genealogy thing. And so this weekend, something came in about my grandmother on my maternal grandmother. And so I, jumped on and did the thing. And then John said to me, well, what about my side of the family? What's going on with that? So then I started researching. Oh boy, rabbit hole, big rabbit hole. Just jump down there and you go and find all sorts of crazy things. I did find, yeah, I know. So,
guilty.
Yeah, guilty, exactly. So I did find, and I've not done DNA things, but I did find a whole lot about my mom's side of the family. I had some grandparents that died of basically asphyxiation, I guess, from there was a coal furnace and it wasn't closed all the way. And so, and that helped me to find, because they were in a newspaper article, all sorts of details, right? So able to go way back on my mom's side of the family. But part of this was, it actually doesn't even relate to them at all, but basically giving you the background of why I even happened on this story. So John's mom actually, my husband, John, his mom actually was from Sweden. And so she came over and met his dad. And so as the story goes, the headline reads, and this is from 1958, December 7th.
Another headline.
Another headline. Stole for wife, says local man, suspect in robberies. And I saw this and I was like, well, this can't be right. And so as it goes, I would rather die than have my husband do such a thing, a Granada Hills woman sobbed after learning her husband had admittedly robbed 4 drugstores to get a drug to, I'm sorry, that's a little hard to read, to fill or to, I can't read it.
So those monk typesets are.
Yeah,
right?
well, and it's so tiny here that it's hard for me to read it. Anyway, she had asthma. And so he apparently stole for her. John A. Hermson, a painter who worked for the county, good government guy, was arrested in Culver City Wednesday night, abruptly after he reportedly robbed a pharmacy on Ventura Boulevard, if you know Ventura Boulevard in Van Nuys, and another drugstore on Sepulveda in Venice. So here is my father-in-law. Never heard this story, right? So just through the genealogical, and he's passed. He has been passed for quite a while. And I asked John if it was okay for me to read this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But basically, as it boils down, my mother-in-law had asthma, and she was quite ill. And she said she suffered from asthma for 25 years, and that it had become so severe that she recently underwent actual psychiatric treatments which failed to help. She said she had been going to the UCLA Medical Center for tests since March. During the last year, she had been in the hospital 3 or 4 times, and then been hospitalized with an oxygen tank at home and all this other stuff. So they couldn't get her the drugs. She couldn't afford them. So he ripped him off. So you said for love, and there you go. That's truly the way it was.
The thing that always gets me, and I value about that, is the world wasn't handed to people.
Right.
Right. Medicine wasn't a right then.
Right.
Right. Healthcare was not a right. Right. When
and he
I was
worked for the county.
Right.
So it's not like he didn't have a
right.
good job
and
with benefits.
People are crying that we couldn't see coronavirus and have a vaccine. Are you kidding me now? I mean, it was take care of yourself.
Right.
And that's gone?
Yeah, well, and I don't know how this all came about or how he got out of it. You know, his sister did say she did say something to me at one time about something like this, but never in these terms. I didn't know he'd been arrested for it, and I had no idea.
The personal responsibility that was required is no longer required, and it's a detriment to society.
Right.
You know,
But I thought it was an interesting story.
Very fascinating.
With researching your ancestry, and I'm sure you found this to be true, you can go into a site and you can get lost there for hours.
Oh, yes.
Well, in my family, my mom's maiden name was Garner, Garner, and the family was, for famous people in the family was John Nance Garner, Vice President of the United States. And we thought, that's really cool. So when all of this came about, Ancestry.com, I thought, I'm going to investigate that. And I go, dang, and I tried different names. And finally, one night when I'm laying in bed, I said, what's the matter with me? I can't find it on my side going back. I'll go on John Nance Garner's website or whatever, flow it that way. We're not related. I told my cousin that, and she says, you're kidding. We've been told that since we were kids. And I go, nope. The lines just don't line up.
That's right.
Half the country's related to him, but not you, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And it is interesting because there are so many, like on my mom's side, her name is Friesen. Her name was Friesen. Her mom's name was Friesen. Well, Friesen and Gosen were like Smith and Jones, right? Or at least pretty close. And so it's really hard to. There's a book that was written that was Gosen's Friesen's, but it was the wrong direction.
I was going to say there's a movie Friesen.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So you have to be really careful when you're doing this kind of research.
Oh yeah.
But this particular one, I'm afraid, was a little bit
That's
obvious.
Nice. I think.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'm related to Salem witches.
Oh.
We knew that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Look at that.
Well, and the other thing that I learned, because on my mom's side, again, I learned the most about that, the Mennonites were really not very nice people in Germany. And, and also when you think about it, they considered themselves Germans in Russia. Well, my family was there for 3 generations. They were all born there, right? How come they were Germans?
Yeah.
How did they become Germans when they were all born in Russia, right? But they refused to assimilate.
They might have lived in the same space. The Russian line just moved, right?
Exactly. But, I mean, so it really, it gives you pause to think about our immigration issues and what people are wanting to do and how they feel about it. And then I look at my own family and I say, well, they were kind of rotten too, right? I mean,
you didn't have a corner on it, right?
Not at all.
So these border people are scrappy.
Debbie and I were on a vacation back east, and we went to a place called Ashby's Gap. And we thought, this is going to be interesting. So we went, why is it named Ashby's Gap? Well, as it turned out, there was a road, and it went down very severely, and then it went up the other side. Well, when people would come by with a buckboard, with horses in front of it, they would tie a log behind the buckboard and it would drag them down. Well, this Ashby fella comes along and he goes, hey, I'm in a hurry. So he goes down without the log. Well, the buckboard runs over his horses and kills them, hence the name Ashby's Gap. Well, they asked him about it, and he says, what good's a damn horse that can't outrun a buckboard?
And you're related to this.
I am.
Okay. Just checking on that.
Just checking on that.
You took responsibility.
No. You got to love personal responsibility.
Yeah, well, when you learn about your family, it's not always good.
Oh, boy. Matter of fact, it usually goes the other way, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Right.
But it's interesting. And it
way more interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting.
Way more interesting than what your parents told you. Right?
That's what they don't tell you.
Well, basically, they didn't know anything.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, that's it for us this week, and we hope that you'll join us again next week on Tuesday. We start at 4 p.m. Pacific, and we'll be here. I hope you will too. And I can't tell you who's going to be here. I don't know right now, but I'll certainly let you know when I do.
Kick this thing to the curb and be great. Let's go. Stretch out.
That's right. All right. Next week, be here. I'm Jan Hermson. This is What's the Story, and check us out online too.
I know I need to pay attention to my health, but I just can't seem to find the time. Between rushing to work and taking care of the kids, there's not much time left over for me. So I decided to start small by eating more fruits and vegetables and being more active. And then I got the family to make some changes too. We started by keeping a bowl of fresh fruit on the counter, and I limit the amount of sweet snacks I keep in the house. I've also found some creative ways to add more vegetables to our